I would like to introduce another Carey School alumni, Greg Peterson, and his Panther Points of Pride video.
Well, my name is Greg Peterson. I graduated from Carey High School in 1973. Yeah, at that point in your life, I guess you probably are. You know, you don't know. And I don't know. I enjoyed school somewhat, but sometimes it was hard for me. You know, I left home when I was 14, and I had to work all my life, you know, and when you're at that age, and of course you have to have a car, and then, you know, we'd work after school. I actually worked for the school. I'd get up and shovel sidewalks in the morning, and they paid me for that. And then I worked in the lunchroom also, when going to school, and I don't know. I enjoyed it, but it was tough. My parents are Cleo and Sybil Peterson, and we lived, when I was growing up, we lived at about several places. We lived out Fish Creek, actually on North Peekaboo Road, North Laidlaw Road. We had can't even remember, 80 acres I think is what we had. And we kind of grew up there for a while. I went to school the first and second grade there. And then we went to, I think, Rupert. My dad worked for a ranch down there. I think we went there for a couple of years, and then off to California. We lived in California. My dad worked on a feedlot down there for, a couple of years down there, it seemed like. We hauled hay for the feedlot at nights and stuff. So then we came back to Jerome, and we lived there for a few years. And another place in Jerome we moved to. So we was there probably 4 or 5 years in Jerome. I don't remember all the dates. You know, when you're that young, you don't, all you do is worry about going to school, I guess. And then we kind of moved back to Carey. My dad done custom hay hauling for years, and so we always did that. So my dad took a job with the AEC in Narco, and they wanted to move to Narco, and us kids didn't want to. And my brother Skip and Marty, they kind of already moved out, you know, and so I told my mom and dad I didn't want to go to Narco to school. So they let me stay here, and we all lived together. Actually, it's the house is not here anymore, but it was right there where Barbara Murphy lives, and Randy, it's where they live. There was a little house there, and we lived there, and all through high school, we lived there. Yeah. You know, all through school, high school and stuff, I'd work for, like some of the guys at Lamb Sheep. They wanted a weekend off, so me and my brothers would always help on the weekends at the sheep outfits. Heck, I worked for Tuff and Phyllis and the Simpsons. I worked for Luis and Arusa. All them guys wanted a day off, and on the weekends, we'd go work, and so yeah, it kept busy. Gosh, there were some good teachers that now I look back and I really appreciate them. You know, a lot of people didn't get along with Earl Bennett, but he was a great guy. Me and him got along really good. You know, Ken Meekum was a good teacher, and I really respected him too. Lynn Stewart was a good principal. Only got in trouble with him once, but he was a good principal. I liked Lynn. Shul Ray was a good teacher. You know, he was a good guy too. I enjoyed visiting with him, but gosh, Bruce Price and I were pretty close. We were always going places and doing things we shouldn't have been doing, and you know, and he was always working on a car. He was a good mechanic. Drove some really nice cars, you know, all through high school, and he's about the only one. I had more female friends than I did guy friends, you know. Lenny Eldridge, she was a good friend, and still is. Carolyn Baird, she was a good friend. And Holly Peck, your kinfolk, she was a good friend. There's several of them that was all. They helped me through school. They sure did, you know. And when I was a senior, I almost quit school. And those girls talked me into staying, and Yeah, I'm glad I did. Got through school. Yeah, but we chased around some. But I didn't have really much time. We worked all the time, and all after school, weekends. We never really had a chance to have a lot of fun. We in the winter we'd all, get behind the wagon or the hooky bob or that kind of stuff. And Bruce Price, he had a 6-wheel ATV. At that time, they was really rare. Nobody had one of them. Gosh, we'd cruise around in the winter in the back streets, and at that time there wasn't any law enforcement. Dude, he was really good. He was at that time he was a local cop. And he was always good to us. He kind of kept us out of trouble. And that's another thing. When we was living alone, me and Marty, my brother, we couldn't play football without a guardian. So dude was actually our guardian, so we could play football. But he kept us out of trouble. I always enjoyed horses. Always did, and cows, and that's kind of the only thing I've worked on ranches, and I've always enjoyed the cows and horses part of it, and I worked for Lloyd Davis for 3 years. I learned a lot from Lloyd. He's a great guy. He taught me a lot. That's why I learned about draft horses, a lot from him. And then he taught me a lot about cows and stuff. And we drove 4 up, and stuff. And he forgot more than I'll ever know about draft horses. He's a great guy. And still is. I went out and helped him brand this spring, and he was good to visit with and get along with. And he can't do much, but he sits there and helps you and what he can. But they're a good family. The 2 girls and Logan, they had 3 kids, but they're all really good people. After high school, gosh, I got married right out of high school. I think got married in December. I think I graduated in May and got married I think the following year in '74 the first time. I worked at the Diamond Dragon at the ranch over south of Bellevue. I was there for 3 years. Worked there. I worked for Don Morrow, clear up Fish Creek, for 1 summer, and that was the longest summer I ever spent. Me and him did not jive very good, but I don't know. It was a nice place up there, and then I'd done custom hay hauling. Me and Randy Park, we had a harrow bed. We worked together, and for a couple years. But it really tied you down. You couldn't go do the things I used to rope a lot, and I still do somewhat, but I don't get to rope as much as I'd like to. It's my own fault because it's not a priority to me anymore. I roped for 30, 40 years. I don't know, and I've done all right. I've won 6 saddles and some buckles and stuff, and my nephew Paul Peterson and I, we won a shootout to go to Oklahoma City back in 2004. So it was fun. I just kind of ranched here, and I worked for Blaine County Road and Bridge for 35 years. Learned a lot on that, and I hope I made a difference to some of the people. I tried to, so I retired last December, and Kelly Whitworth took over. And Kelly will do a great job. He's very personable and gets along good with everybody, and so he'll do a great job. But I wasn't sad about leaving. I'd had enough. At that point in your life, you just want something else. And this ranch changed ownership last year in July, a little over a year ago. Yeah. And the people that own it now, they're really great people. They want to do things, and and let us enjoy it, the ranch now. And so, and we have 70 of our own cows here, and geez, half a dozen horses. But it's a nice place to work now. It really is. So I enjoy it. Oh, I am currently, I work at the Suzuki Ranch here in Peekaboo. And like I said, I've been here for over 30 years. And I really enjoy it. We feed with the team in the winter, and we wagon rides in summer, and do a few parades. And we done wagon days, excuse me, not wagon days, but Days of the Old West in Haley. We done it first. These horses, they're 6 and 7 now, and they come from Amish people back in Ohio. They're really nice boys. They're big spotted giraffes, and they weigh 2,000 pounds, 18 hands high. The first parade we done them in, they was kind of on the muscle a little bit. They was a little hot trot going out through, and Haley, there was, as soon as you turn the corner there at Les Schwab and head south on Main Street, there is wall-to-wall people. I mean, there's like 3 and 4 deep. They figured over 7,000 people at that parade. So them horses, they was a little on the muscle all down through there. And then we went to Carey, and gosh, they were so good. They were so good at Carey. They was just really well mannered, and of course they are, in a way, but that's right. And you never know, even though they're broke, and you just never know. It's something can set them off sometimes, and there's no such thing as a foolproof horse. There just something happens, and you never know. But it was good.
Candy flying everywhere.
That's right. Yeah, kids running up. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. But they done really good. Yeah, they sure did. I love the work part of it. I love to get up in the mornings and come here, do my chores, and do whatever. I'm a morning person. I like to get up and get out here and get going. But by 1 or 2 o'clock, I'm kind of done for. I just, I'm not. Energy's kind of gone by then, and I guess it's, happens. But I don't know. I love getting up in the mornings and coming and doing my chores, and the horses, the cows, and if we have to go doctor cows or move cows or whatever, I enjoy that. I enjoy going branding, helping people, in the spring of the year, and it's good for your horses and colts and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good. A lot of people trade work. You go help them, they come help you, and we have some guys that come help us brand, and they're all good, great guys. Yeah, they'll come help you, and they are a good bunch of guys. I didn't know what they was, but I was ready for them. I just all my life, I guess work is the only thing I really, knew. They always say strong like tractor, smart like tractor. Well, that's kind of the way I am, I guess. I just, education, I guess I learned, through doing, I guess, because I didn't want to go to college. I struggled to get through high school, and so I didn't want to further my education, but I know I should have, but you learn from experience, I guess, and people that teach you stuff. I learned a lot about equipment on the county through, past people that worked there, and so that was good though. I enjoyed most of that, working equipment and stuff too. Plus, when I worked on the county, I still had this job, so I'd go to work the county in the mornings, and I'd come here in the evenings and afternoons and weekends.
Well, and I think you got your education.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah. It may not be like a lot of education, but there's, I'll survive. Yeah, and enjoy it. Yeah. Your family's important, and your wife and kids and all that stuff is really important. It's just, family is something you'll always cherish, and got to take care of them, you know, and I try to as much as I can. My sister and I are really close. You know, my brothers, and you know how boys are, they're not all that close, but my sister and I were really close, you know, and I lost one sister and also a brother. So I still have 4 brothers and, let's see, 4 brothers? Yeah, 4 brothers and a sister left, you know. You know, my mom, she was a great lady. She had, you know, she had 8 kids, and boy, she struggled at, you know, trying to do things that my dad didn't approve of, but she did, you know. And she was a great lady. You know, that'd be my first pick. You know, I miss her. You know, she's a great lady. And I always have to. I always thought she was great. She'd try to help us whenever she could, you know, and she knew it probably wasn't right or didn't agree with my dad, but, and I'm not saying that because she tried to spoil us, because she didn't. You know, she'd just try to help us whenever she could, you know, but she was a great lady. And my dad he was a good guy too, you know, he was a hard worker, but that was his trouble, and 'cause he just works all he knew, you know, but he had to support 8 kids, you know, he had to work, and he had 8 hired guys and girls, you know, that's why we had a big family. And back then, I think everybody had big families. You guys had big families, you know, so you know what it is, you know, parents depend on you. You know, I still think education's a great deal, you know, and get all you can, and take care of your family, you know. You know, I'm most proud of my family. They're really good kids. They turned out great. They hardly ever got in trouble with anybody but me, you know. Denise, she was a sweetheart, and still is, you know. She's my oldest daughter. Lana's my youngest daughter. They're both sweet, and they turned out pretty dang good. So my grandkids, I have a grandson that Magnum, he's in Twin Falls. He's a senior this year. Plays baseball, outstanding baseball player, outstanding. He's a great kid. Mila, my Lana's youngest daughter, she's a redhead, but she's a sweet little thing. She's very, very nice. We have another grandson, Adam, that is Amy's grandson, and it's ours now, and so he's a good boy. You know, I love them kids. And I'm also proud of this ranch. I've been here a long time. I've taken really good care of it, and the new owners, they give me a little more opportunity to take even better care of it. We've opened it up to more boarding and stuff, and people get to use it, you know, so I'm proud of this place. So, Amy, she's such a sweet lady with animals, you know, and she really takes good care of them, and she can seem to relate to them, you know. And so River Grove, that's a big barn north of Haley, they bring this mare down 2 days ago, and they put her in a stall back here, and anyway, she started foaling yesterday about 10 o'clock, and by 10:30 she had to foal out, and really it's a cute little thing. You'll have to go back and take a look at it, you know, before you leave. So she does a great job. She's a sweetheart. She's been around horses most of her life. Vet-wise, she knows a lot, and even the vets from Haley or Bellevue said that she does a really good job. You know, she knows a lot about treatment, and she shot horses for 16 years. She was a horseshoer, and she does a good job. She doesn't shoot very many now, so, and I'm glad she doesn't, but she knows a lot about it. So, you know, Amy, funny thing, she lived right over here across the highway for 2 years, and I had never seen her. I'd never met her. And Karen Brown, she works at Rancher Supply. She asked me one day, she says, there's this lady I know, and I want to set you up with her. And at the time, I really wasn't interested, you know. I didn't know her, you know. And so she a month or so went by, and she asked me again. I said, well, give me your number. So I called her, and left a message. She didn't answer. I left her a message. And it wasn't 5 minutes. She called me back, and she said, yeah, So we went out to dinner, and it's strange because she lived right across the road, and I had never seen her before. All the trips I've made here to the ranch and back and forth, I'd never seen her before. But she's a great lady. We get along really good, and we got married last December in Vegas. We went down and watched the national finals and got married down there, and it's been great. I enjoy her. I'm Greg Peterson. I graduated from Carey High School in 1973.